I keep telling you Meek Mill is my friend, but I can't even lie to y'all. I think just me and him disagrees just fundamentally. It feels like about everything. And I try to catch myself and be like, yo, I don't want to be too critical of him, but like, um, let's look at a few things. All right. Now I seen this post on the Shade Room, which I guess Meek has quit Twitter to go use Threads. Like it's confusing. So Meek said no more Twitter because y'all would call him Twitter fingers, and he just had a bad rap on there. But he's now on Threads, kind of tweeting up even more shit, which I don't know, bro. Regardless, Meek sent this message out. He said, "Real killers and robbers know they would die if they touched me, but I'm letting business people take what's mine? I don't know, man. I don't know how to handle this one. I'm off the net." Now, this is what he said on Threads. Business people trying to treat me mentally slow is my biggest challenge. Sometimes I want to show them how I make people really pay for trying me. Because they play a lot of mental games. But the games we play are too extreme for them. What do I do? Because one day something gonna happen. I'm gonna put my life at risk to make a big statement. So this don't continue in rap music. They stealing all the money, and they got all the lawyers on their side. Now, this is kind of like interesting and ironic because he also did say a few more things. Let me see if I could. Did anyone else cover it? Maybe say she's got it. I still haven't really posted Meek. Like I'll post him at times, but I don't post him. Did they post it? Maybe they didn't even post it. But he also posted something about like, oh, he's about to drop an album, and I believe the album is gonna be called. What's the name of the fucking album? He says the album is gonna be called "Streets Are a Myth." I think that's the thing. Let me look. Threads Meek Mill. I'll just go to his thing. This is Meek Mill on Threads. Okay. Here's Meek. Again, he's doing the same thing he does on Twitter, which I don't even know why he left. If you from the streets, shape that one thinking pattern. Gangster, thugging, trapping, sliding, hit mentality, none of that will help you be the man or businessman or top provider for your family. You might go to jail a lot or die, and the two really don't link together when gaining success in anything. Do it early. Be a learner, grower, not a person that stays the same. I'm going to make an album called The Streets a Myth. Didn't Troy have to do that, by the way? Or, no, that's Troy say it. And break it down, but after we eat, because there was owners too long. Go back to the basics while everybody going big. I bet you win. Looking to pay a CEO to run Dream Chaser Records, and you will be eligible to get shares in a company and a great salary. Top steppers only. My lawyer once told me the feds was looking at my case when I was 19. He wanted me to take a deal so the DA can get a conviction and I can go home. He told me the feds was on my case when I was 19 with no money or prior history. I was thinking. He made me take that plea and fucked my whole life up. It was just his job. That was my life. Most are untrustworthy and do what's best for themselves. Stop rapping about just killing black people and go check your contracts out ASAP. Now, I agree with Meek, and I guess, let me start off positive. I definitely do agree with Meek when he says lawyers, especially when it's lowly paid lawyers, they're not going to push you towards taking shit to trial, using some of the antics that they would use for higher paid clients, because most likely they're getting a flat fee to handle shit, or they know you don't have a lot of money and they want to move on to another case to cash another check. So I completely agree with Meek, and that's fucked up. And by the way, I think any work he's doing in the reform, for that reform organization, I think that's great. Now, I do have to be very honest with y'all. When it comes to the music business, I am befuddled. how Meek Mill has been in this game for damn near 15 years, and Meek Mill still sounds like a guy who's never been to a label meeting. It sounds like he's just learned the game this year. And it's even more confusing to me that Meek Mill, who, like, he's trying to have this separation from the people who are his friends to the people who are like running these infrastructures. Again, respectfully, and this is what I would say to Meek if we were having a conversation, a constructive one, obviously. I would say, Meek, when you talk about, right? When you talk about, fuck. Let me get back to it. Sorry. Let's gotta get to this little story post. I think he deleted it. When you say stuff like this about people not respecting your business IQ and people robbing or taking from people like you, I usually say to myself, what's the difference between the people who run the music business and the people who run sport organizations? It's the same thing. There's no different. This is how the world works. It's a capitalistic world, and there's always somebody that is not getting what they're truly worth or not even understanding what they're truly worth, and somebody else who's cashing out. I don't look at Michael Rubin or Robert Kraft as any different than Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, P. Diddy, Birdman, or any of the likes, whether it's Junie Greenwald or anybody else that runs these major record labels. They're the same thing. The person at the bottom always gets fucked. And as long as you operate in their system, you cannot change it. And usually you're okay with that system because said system gives you enough while you're on top to coddle you and keep you quiet. We never heard Meek speak like this when his career was booming and he's talking like he was talking a lot of money talk. When you usually hear the rappers at their peak, they're usually sounding like they're the richest people on earth. It's only when people stop giving them loans, aka huge record deals, or people start telling them no. Meek at this point, I think, has a very core audience. I don't we could dissect his career so much different ways, but I think if I'm Meek at this point, humility is the first step. Humility is the first step. Meek, you are a legendary artist, but you're an agent. I think you should do what Tory Lanez did. Go independent, capitalize on that audience. You're not selling 100,000 anymore. But if you could do 40, 50, 60,000, keep putting out music back to back, you're going to catch one of these hits. Maybe shit might turn around a little bit for you. Also, we're in an era where a lot of stuff you're saying doesn't resonate. The streets, the trenches, that's not what it is. TikTok is running the game. Labels these